Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jenny from the Chopping Block. Today, I have this gorgeous and inspiring couple, Allison and Wade, and I'm so excited to dive in with you guys and find out what your recipes for success are in wellness. So my first question is, what has inspired you on this journey? I know it's fairly new. I don't know if you've always been healthy, but from what I saw, it's been this last 2 years that you really took a deeper dive into the space.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. I moved back home in 2018 after a divorce, and needless to say, I was not in the best frame of mind, so to speak. And I had tinkered with working out. I had been somewhat athletic most of my life, playing football in high school, things like that. But I started going to the gym when I came back home in 2018, and I used it as therapy, to be perfectly honest. And I found myself, as I continued to go, there were days when I didn't want to go, but I continued to go. And as time went on, I found myself not wanting to go a day without it.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
So it was changing not only me physically, but it was changing me mentally. It was bringing me back, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It was allowing me to find myself again. It was allowing me to love myself again. It was allowing me to finally find that love that I did find.
So powerful and beautiful. I feel your words. Thank you so much for sharing. And how about you, Allison? What has inspired you in this journey?
Well, my husband has inspired me. So I have always been a in and out of the gym kind of person. I would go for a certain amount of time and not see the results that I wanted to see. Then I just burn out and quit, crash and dive. He was like, forget it. So I was on a diet, off a diet, in the gym, out of the gym. And just never real consistent because I didn't see the changes I wanted to see. And so one day, I started working with a trainer, and on Facebook, I saw this guy right here talking to my trainer, and I was just like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? I mean, I said some but I was serious, like, who is this guy? And I was getting ready to get a divorce and different things like that. I had been married almost 31 years. And honestly, finding out his age, he was 50 at the time, first of all, that hit me like, oh my God, God makes him like that at 50. I mean, come on. So, and then I just started showing up at the gym because I wanted to meet him. To be really honest, I was there morning, afternoon, evening.
Oh, yeah.
That's not good for the company, man.
I love you. That's amazing.
Like, I gotta meet this guy. And so anyways, one day I saw him in the gym, and of course I'm like, on the DL, like, hey. I walked away like, how you doing? And left. But anyway, from there, this romance was born. And we have been together over 10 years, or 10 years, 2 years, over 2 years.
Does it feel like 10?
It feels like 10, but now over 2 years. But anyway,
wow,
to be really honest, he taught me about diet. And I had told you I had been in and out of the gym and I couldn't get my body to change. Well, at the age of 51, then I thought there's nothing that this is how it is. My waistline kept getting wider. And I just thought, well, this is just normal progression as you age. And I was doing keto. It had worked for a while for me and it quit. So I was just having health issues. The high fat was getting to me and I didn't know that's what it was, but I was having gallbladder issues and some kidney issues. And so anyway, long story short, he changed my diet, started adding all these carbs in. I was sitting there telling him I can't eat carbs. I can't eat them because I'm going to gain weight. And I did. When I came off keto, I gained 5 to 7 pounds from eating healthy, but it was my body restoring my water levels. Now I know. It wasn't real fat. And so once I got and changed my diet to this really balanced way of eating like him, my waistline started coming in, and I had lost over 30 pounds. And I got my girlish figure back. And, all of our friends just kind of noticed, and we just started helping people. And from that, just helping people our age in their 50s in the beginning, friends that he went to school with. Our company was born. So here we are.
That's amazing. So what about so you guys started your own journey and made these strides, and then what inspired you to go out and help others? Was it just like people asking you, or was it always inside of you to provide service?
It was people asking,
Amazing.
What are you guys doing? And that's still the thing. That's really where we have never done one advertisement, no marketing whatsoever, other than a Facebook Live video. Mm-hmm. We don't put any marketing dollars on that either. We just go live on our page, and somehow people find us, or we go, we'll post on a couple groups, and people just find us. Mm-hmm. Because at 50, we don't look like the normal 50. We're both 53. I'll be 54 in October. And so people, first of all, are kind of shocked at our age, but that brings in a lot of people wondering, can I change my body too? And our answer is always this: yes, you can. And we have seen so many huge transformations of people 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and even in going into their 70s. It's
incredible. Yeah, that's beautiful. You're able to change people's lives and, their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
A gift. You guys are a light. It's beautiful. And the fact that you could do it together is really special. So what is your specialty? Like, if you were going to say, how do you provide this service for people?
Well, my specialty is following her around like a little puppy dog. That's what I enjoy doing the most.
It's hilarious.
What is our specialty?
Mm-hmm.
Diet. It's nutrition.
Beautiful. Yeah. I want to know, how did you learn how to eat right?
Well, it was trial and error, to be perfectly honest. I had gone to the gym before, like I said, on and off, but I had never eaten. I'd never eaten clean my whole life. I had never eaten clean. Now, fortunately, I haven't been on the real heavy side of things, but I was to a point to what we call skinny fat. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like my body, and I was trying to change it just by going to the gym and not changing my nutrition. And I was never going to get there. It's not possible to get there. I know a lot of people think that if you go to the gym 6 days a week and put 2 hours a day in, then you can transform your body into whatever you want. Not true. Mm-hmm. You're going to see a little tone, but your body composition is not going to change until you are on the right plan for you specifically. You can't just go on a regular diet that everybody else is going on and expect to get the ultimate results like you will if you allow someone to specifically build a program for you. And that's what we do.
We take people's information and we build out a program for them. It's really not complicated, but you have to know certain things about yourself. I couldn't eat the same amount of calories as Wade, or I'm going to gain weight, right? So, but it's also about knowing how to only lose fat and not lose muscle, because people go on these crash diets and now just lower their calories. And while they might be eating good foods like salad and things like that and chicken breast, having the wrong balance of food, not having enough protein and all of that, and not enough calories in your diet. We just think sometimes, the lower the calorie, the better I'm going to lose weight. That is so not true, because you also lose muscle. When you lose muscle, you lose your metabolism slows. I mean, there's so many issues with losing muscle. So that's what we specialize in, is the way your body looks, feels, but not losing muscle. Just losing fat. We want to see your body transform and change. We call it body recomposition.
It's amazing. Yeah, I just started my fitness journey, but I lost 50 pounds with diet alone this past year. Awesome. And now I'm just learning, I did keto. I just actually finished keto, but like you said, I just feel like it's not healthy, So now I started eating more balanced and I'm down 3 pounds. It's just like,
Wow.
it's so interesting. And I'm eating a lot of protein. Yeah, but I would love to maybe look into what you guys provide
Yeah.
because it's like, how do we know? We don't know what to eat.
You're
It's
exactly
trial
right.
and error.
The problem with what we call a canned diet is it's a temporary fix. People go on these diets to lose weight as fast as they possibly can, but when the diet is over, if they reach that 30-pound mark that they were trying to lose, when the diet is over, then it's a 90% chance that they're going to go back because they didn't learn how to eat, actually. So they're going to go back to what the way they were eating because now they're 30 pounds lighter and they honestly think that they're going to stay there, and they're not. They're going to gain that weight back and then some. So it becomes a vicious cycle of losing 30, gaining 35, losing 30, gaining 40. And that's not healthy for you to do that.
They say that the definition of crazy is continuing to do the same thing over and over again, but thinking you're going to get a different result. But that's not true. If you keep doing the same thing, if you come off of a diet and go back to the way you used to eat, then you're going to get the same results that you got then. And so people just go back, and gain that weight again. And it's this on a diet, off a diet, on a diet, off a diet kind of thing. Really, you have to change your lifestyle and look at food differently.
And that's what we do. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet and workout program. This is something that is sustainable for life. Even after you go through our program and you're on your own, you know how to do it. And that's how you live. It's a lifestyle.
Amazing. And I never really knew what that meant until like this last year. It's always like, I'm not on a diet. Like, this is my life. I want to ask you both, is there some non-negotiable things that you stick to keep you on track, like every day?
Well, there's little things in life that I cannot have in this house. I would love to be able to have a bag of Lay's potato chips, but I'm going to tell you, if I do, I will eat those chips every time I run past the kitchen cabinet. You know what I mean? It's like I grab in there. I'll just have a few here and there. So I guess that's one of my things is I know that there's some temptations I have a really hard time resisting. And so I keep those out of our home.
Okay.
We can't have Reese cups in here, that's for sure.
I have a serious problem with Reese cups.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't bring them in the house. And a 2-pack's just gonna piss me off. So it has to be the family 4-pack, and I eat them in about 30 seconds. It's really disgusting to watch me do it, but it's so yeah. If I had to say one thing, it would be Reese cup.
That, and we keep each other pretty accountable. When we're getting off track, which we do like everyone else.
Yeah.
It's life, and we get each other back on track. Or, a lot of times he say, I think it's time that, we get back on track and start eating better, and might start. One thing that we do is we'll tend to eat out, and it's hard to stay on target and eat out all the time. You don't know exactly what they're putting in your food, even though we order a certain way. It still gets us off target, and we get lax, we might start having desserts. So we just have to cut back. Like Wade said, last month, he goes, that's it. No more eating out for a while. We're really going to stay on top of our diet, and we got to really rein it back in, and so that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
As long as you know how to do it.
Yeah.
You can rein it back in. You just have to, always keep it in the back of your mind. And you can't let it go too long, and then you get in trouble.
Absolutely. And I just want to ask, because I like to ask like every person I interview, like what a day in the life of your diet looks like, because it's so interesting to me.
Well, now that we work in the office, our office is at home. It's a little bit different than what it looked like when we had jobs outside of our business. When we had jobs outside of our business, we do more meal prep than we do now. We get up in the morning, we'd be cooking our lunch and sometimes our dinner while we were cooking our breakfast. Everything for us is very, very simple. We don't have a lot of ingredients to anything, and a lot of times we eat very bland. To be really honest, it depends on if we're going to, Wade competes. He's going into competition at the end of the month, so things are really boring and bland right now. Not a lot of seasonings or anything like that, but everything for us is just quick. We use a George Foreman grill for most of our meats and some of our veggies, just because it lets our chicken breast, that we eat a lot of chicken breast and fish, things like that, it lets it taste good and not dry out. So just real simple and quick things. So when we worked outside the home, we would cook all those meals in the morning. Sometimes we didn't cook dinner till we got home, but our meals only take us 10 minutes, maybe at the most 10 or 15 minutes at the most. So while we'd eat breakfast, we were cooking our lunch at the same time, and then just bagging it up and taking it with us, in our containers. Now that we work in our home from our office, it's a little different. We usually don't cook our chicken breast until it's lunchtime, or our fish or whatever we're having, our beef, until it's lunchtime. And again, it's really, really a quick process for us, 10 minutes, maybe at the most. So
Nice. And
but we do mostly eat at home.
We do. And it's actually our choice to eat that bland. On our program, it's not necessarily that bland. You have a lot of choices. We tend to, we're more of a creature of habit. We tend to eat for nutrition and fuel rather than eat for taste sometime, to be perfectly honest, except on our cheat meal. And we require all of our clients to take a cheat meal every week.
And we do. We enjoy it.
Yeah.
Can I hear about your favorite cheat meal?
Well, they're always our favorite, no matter what week it is, no matter what we're having. We had Mexican, and I had the other day, and I had a margarita. So that was definitely, and I had the cheese, the white cheese. What's it called?
Queso.
And so that was like off the charts. I hadn't had that for probably 6 months. So it was great for me. It felt great.
Mine is probably a really big burger and fries, or pizza or pasta. I have a lot of them.
Ice cream, definitely ice cream.
Definitely ice cream for dessert. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. And then I want to ask you, what's your best advice you've ever been given, or something that you like to tell your clients?
I think some of the best advice I've ever been given is to not look at eating as a, I'm on a diet or off the diet kind of mentality. Because what I have and what I've seen is I've seen so much failure in people coming on a diet and then going off of a diet. And by that, I mean, people come on our program and we want to change the way they think about food. And we do in the beginning, it's so strict. But if it stayed that way, and if they continue to stay that way, they're eventually just going to burn out and walk away, go back to their old way of eating, right? And so that brings a lot of failure, that mentality, that way of thinking. So what we like to teach our clients is to find a balance, to think of your food as fuel. Before I was eating very healthy, I always thought of my food as fun. What am I going to have for dinner? What am I going to have for, oh my God, what am I going to have for snack? And I got to eat some carrots because it's healthy, right? Or salad. But, I dump all this good stuff over it and then have dessert. And that's okay if it's in balance. But it was on a diet, off a diet mentality. Didn't work. So that's what we like to teach our clients is to, you might come on our program and it'd be real strict just because we're trying to build new habits in you and teach you what good food, healthy food looks like for fuel. But we also want you to have fun with your food too. But there's a balance. So finding that balance is hard to do. And even when you do find the balance, staying on that is hard because Wade and I even fall off. But you know what? We know when we need to get back on it, just like we said the other day. So it's a lifestyle mentality. It's what it needs to be.
What do you think, Wade? What's some of the best advice you've given or that you live by?
Well, it has just been here recently. I read a quote and it is so true. A healthy person has 1,000 wishes. An unhealthy person usually only has one, and that's to have their health back. And that's our focus. Our concern is not only the outside appearance, but it's what's going on the inside of their life. And we want people to make themselves a priority. And there's so many people that have never done that. They've never made themselves a priority. It's always been on the back burner. Well, I'm gonna lose this weight. It's going to be my next year's New Year's resolution, and then before you know it, it's June of the following year, and they're saying it again. So that's our focus, to be perfectly honest. Excessive weight causes so many other issues other than your outside appearance, and that's what we do. We want to help people get their health back, to take back control, and have that control to do that.
Amazing. And, I found you guys in Power to Pivot, and I also saw you post on a Tony Robbins page. I'm very active in that community. How do you find that, and what has that helped with your fitness, or how do you find that space?
Well, to be really honest, whenever I came, I wanted to change my life, and I had always been inspired by Tony Robbins. Mm-hmm. And so I read, what was that book? I can't even think.
The Giant Within?
Yes. That I listened to on Audible.
Oh, yeah.
And in that he discusses even his health and how he eats and different things. Now, I don't eat like Tony. I don't think he eats meat at all, from what I can tell.
He does.
I love meat. So, yeah. So I'm not going to be a vegetarian. But it really inspired me, some of the things he said. But here's the thing that I loved about him. He's not just successful, and you kind of brought it up earlier. He's not just successful financially. Mm-hmm. He's also successful in the way he eats and exercises. He's also successful and finds it great importance in his relationship with his wife. Mm-hmm. All the areas of his life, he tries to build great success. Mm-hmm. And that inspired me. So that's when I got into that community. I thought, why am I failing over here and over here and over here? How do I get all these things in order? And it's finding a healthy place to be in all the areas of your life. Dean Graziosi is the same way. His children, you hear him talk about his children all the time. He's successful financially. He will tell you about the failures he's had in his relationship, but how much he's learned from them. He inspired me so much. And I want to say, I was going to say this in Dean Graziosi's group one day, that he's the reason I got a divorce. And that sounds awful. That sounds awful, right? But it's true.
He's the reason you got your life back, right?
He's the reason I left an old relationship that was not serving anybody. Mm-hmm. And, I was in it just because I didn't want to get divorced. But meanwhile, I was losing years of my life, mm-hmm. And so anyways, I want to say that's the reason I got divorced, because I thought that would be funny. But really, he made me think differently. And he also was very health conscious and, thinks about all areas of his life. So both of those groups have inspired us. We're very motivational, inspirational kind of people. And so they just speak to us.
Amazing. Yeah, I feel like I understand your words. I feel your words, because I could relate to the feelings that you have. And it amazes me. Like, everybody I interview, like I could interview you guys as Recipe Success and Love. I could, it all comes together. Do you think that fitness is like the foundation of that? Because that's what I always believed. Like, when you take care of yourself and that self-love and that, taking care of your body, like everything else kind of comes together.
I think it does, although I do know people into fitness that areas of their life are just completely out of control, but I believe when you get your mind in the game and you're doing it for the right reasons and you just are seeking the best for your life. Yes, self-love. I didn't have any self-love. You know, I'm learning to love myself and learning to allow him to love me. I didn't even know how to honestly to bring my walls down enough to allow him to love me. I was too afraid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been part of the whole process, is learning to love myself and find confidence in who I am is a big deal, because it also changes our relationship.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Wade, do you have anything you want to add about the communities that you guys are in?
Well, you know, it's I don't think that you ever stop learning. I don't think that you should ever want to stop learning. And individuals like Tony Robbins and Dean, you know, Dean's been through the fires, you know, of life, and I can definitely relate to those. And when you start listening to empowering people that you would probably never think anything bad has ever happened in their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at people that have the ability to change people's lives,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at people that have reached the financial mountaintop, as you will, it's easy to think that they're not really the same kind of people that you are.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, the majority of the time, at some point in their life, they were probably at a lower point than maybe what you've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that learning from people like this, it not only teaches you that you're not alone,
Mm-hmm.
and you can succeed,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it empowers you to have self-confidence, and it empowers you to know that you can do anything that you set your mind to,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the field, regardless of your age, regardless of your gender, regardless of your race. None of that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It just matters about how you feel about yourself. And having self-confidence is a very, very powerful thing.
Amazing. You just reminded me, like, just thinking of different conversations they've all had, like how they actually like almost loved the struggle. Like, not like, you know how Tony always says your pain's your gift, and it's like who do you have to become to get your goal? And just like they almost like look back at the hard times as like the beauty, you know, of like building themselves up to get to where they are. And you know, that's a big part of the journey. I just like I think of struggle and pain and all that as like motivators now. It's like it's a different mindset. Yeah, they've had a huge impact on my life as well. Thank you for sharing your insights. And I want to ask you, what inspired First 90 Fitness, and if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Go ahead.
Amelia?
Go ahead.
Well, First 90 Fitness, it all goes back to 2018.
Mhm.
And Allie and I were both in, we had just struggled through some bad times in our life. There were seasons in our life that we were both trying to either heal from or get to a place to where we could heal. And again, the gym was a therapy. And when people started coming to us, what we did is until we changed ourselves, we were no help to others.
Mm-hmm.
Until we changed our nutrition, which was the main thing for me and the main thing for Allie. That's what allowed us to change our bodies at our age. Once we did that, once we took our program and we trial and errored it on ourselves, and we saw success in ourselves, only then did we even think about starting a company. We had so many people coming to us asking the same question. How did you guys get in shape at 50 and manage to stay this way basically consistently throughout the year?
Mm-hmm.
And we just come to the realization that we had an opportunity here to help thousands of people. And what was going to be our best avenue to do that? And starting a company was that avenue. Now, as far as the name First 90 Fitness, it was actually First 60 Fitness in the beginning, because we started our program as a 60-day program.
Basically like a kickstart.
Right.
We don't want them to think you're on a diet for 60 days and then you're done, or you're on a diet for 90 days and we're dwe because that's not how we feel.
All right. It's the first 60 days. That's how we looked at it. Okay. We were getting so good results in 60 days, but then for accountability reasons, we had a lot of clients wanting to stay on with us for another month. They felt like they needed 30 more days of accountability. They needed 30 more days of hearing us on a daily basis.
So what we do is they check in every night. So there's accountability. So our clients are checking in with us every single day for 90 days, because we found that coaching leads to success. Just like we're in Dean and Tony's groups, and we have our own personal coaches as well, as far as our diets and fitness go. Wade has his, I have mine. It keeps us more accountable. I've got to check in, and when I know I do, well, I'm gonna tell you what, I am hitting my food solid now, because I know when I send pictures to my coach, they better be on. You know what I mean? Caroline's going to get it, so I got to be careful, what I'm eating all week. Our clients are the same way. So that's what we do. We built a system where we can work with these clients daily and coach them and teach them how to continue for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Incredible. And
for the first 60 days or the first 90 days.
So we've made a decision that we wanted it to be a 90-day program instead of a 60. So we just changed 60 for 90. So it's actually the first 90 days. First 90 days of the rest of your life, if you want to look at it that way, because you're going to be in a position after those 90 days to be more confident in yourself that you can do this on your own without Allie and myself. Mm-hmm. What we're doing actually is working ourselves out of a job with our clients, because we want them to be able to walk away in 90 days. And we still have some that stay on for 120, and we're fine with that. But after the 90-day period, the majority of them, you can just see the confidence level that has changed.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure at that point, like, people are creating habits. Like, I know, like, I've created some really healthy habits that now, like, it's almost subconscious. Like, I just do it.
Yeah.
I think in 90 days is a good amount of time where, like, you'll create that habit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's most people have never known how to eat healthy. They weren't brought up that way, and it was generation after generation. And and that's what we do. We teach them a different way. We teach them a better way.
Like you said, now it's just habit. The way we used to eat was our habit. We just had to change our habits. Mm-hmm. And now, it's basically a lifestyle, because this is just what we do. This is what we buy at the store. This is what we eat if we go out to eat. And if we're going to cheat, we pretty much plan, hey, we're going to have a cheat meal today, Mm-hmm. And so it's a different lifestyle. We don't even think about just running and getting the same things we used to at the store. I don't even think about going over and finding the mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
No. But it's a cheat meal, guys, not a cheat day.
Yeah.
Make sure you understand that. We have had some clients that thought it was a cheat day, and they called us the next morning saying, "You're not going to believe what I did on my cheat day." And it started at breakfast, and it didn't end until late.
Yeah, that's okay.
Party all day.
They take it all in, man. 5,000 calorie day.
Or more.
I want to be respectful of your time, but I can't help to ask if I could just hear one recipe for success in your love. Like is there some advice that you could give the audience?
Well, before he's naughty, because he's got that naughty look on his face.
No.
Hilarious.
One thing that he does every single day since we've been together, every single day, is that, and I have pictures, I have hundreds of them, of a coffee cup. Every morning he wakes up, and when we worked outside the home, and now that we work in our office in the home, he still has done it every day. We wake up in the morning, he makes coffee, he writes something special on my cup, and it's always something different. I don't think he's ever repeated one. And it's always something very loving, kind, encouraging, funny, whatever. And it's especially for me. And he brings me coffee in bed every morning, and we sit and talk. Before the rest of our day starts, before we check our phones, we sit and spend time together. And same thing, we go to bed together. I don't go to bed, he goes to bed later. We make that time for each other every day. And that's, I think, the basis of I don't know where we would be if we hadn't had that coffee in the morning, because we've done it when I've been upset, or he's, aggravated because I'm upset. We've still done it. And that is our thing. That's what we do. And you're just going to have to get over being mad, because this is what we do.
That is incredible.
And, it's just been a great thing in our relationship.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of wisdom, Wade?
I sure do. You have to love to serve each other. And when you finally get that down pat, it makes your life so much better. Don't ever put yourself first. Always put him or her first. I'm done.
Thank you so much. Those are absolutely incredible. I just want to thank you for your time. I'm going to share where to find them in the caption, and a brief overview of what we went over today. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for shining your light. You're an inspiration to so many people, and I'm so happy that I found you.
We're so glad that you interviewed us today. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, guys. I'll see you real soon.
See you later.